The Mixed Mornings and More podcast with Steph and Shawn.
Now available daily.
Good morning, world.
Hey, good morning. Happy Monday. It is 5:32 right now. It is July, and it's the 25th.
Welcome to looks like a sunny day, and you had a quick jaunt down the highway and back up again this weekend.
Yeah, I went to Edmonton.
Went to Wandering River.
But
Wow, what a
I
trip.
passed through Wandering River, and I passed through what was it? Grassland and all that, and gas prices were just astronomically lower. I filled up in Edmonton at a random Shell at 164.
What?
Yeah, 164. Whereas here, when I left Fort McMurray on Friday, was 189.
Well, the crazy thing is, I always find that Wandering River is like, if you want to get gouged, that's where you stop, because it's like the most busiest gas station, and they can charge whatever you want. You need gas in Wandering River. And last weekend, when I was driving up the highway, I filled up in Wandering River at 176, and I was like, I hate that I'm filling up here because it's probably going to be way cheaper in Fort McMurray. And then I got here, and it was like 184 or something like that. Now it's up to 189, and you filled up at 164?
Yeah, just at like a random Shell. But on the bright side, we're starting to drop here in Fort McMurray, and I think I saw some around like 179. So slowly dropping.
I'm crossing my fingers for 164, Shawn. I can't believe that sounds like a good price, but it just sounds heavenly. Saturday night, my husband and I decided to go for a quick paddle. So we just drove down to the very busy Snai, put our kayaks in, and then just like went for a little toot around the bay, I guess you could call it.
Okay, so all within the area? You didn't like go a long venture down the river?
Yeah, exactly. So
That's what you usually do, right?
Yeah, usually
drop one off and go to the other?
Start in Draper and paddle for a few hours. Yeah, on a slow little float. But this was all paddling, and it was just right there. And it was really quiet out on the water. It was like, wow, this is really great. And then all of a sudden, somebody's voice was coming through on like a loudspeaker. Yeah. And they were like, just like really excited and yelling about something. And I was like, weird, like...
A party on the water or something? A boat? Or
Well, we were right by the golf course. I was like, oh, there must be like a golf tournament going on.
Yeah.
Okay. But I was like, it's strange. I don't even see anybody golfing. And then all of a sudden, my husband's like, that sounds like Mark.
Mark, like our afternoon guy, Mark?
Yeah, Mark, like our afternoon guy, Mark. And I was like, it does. Not apparently, I knew what he was doing. He was at the Monarchs game, but that just traveled so far over the hill and down onto the water. I felt like I was sneaking in.
Oh.
And not paying, but knowing exactly what was happening. 'Cause he was doing play-by-play, and he was like, and the Monarchs do this, and the Irish do this, and like all these different descriptors. And I was just like, and I'm trying to have a paddle. I didn't go to the Monarchs game, but here I am.
You should have sent him a text and be like, keep it down over there.
Yeah, tell them to turn your mic down. I'm trying to enjoy my evening.
This weekend, I went driving down to Edmonton, and on my way there, the single-lane highway part, I noticed just an abundance of farm garage sales happening. Now, I've never stopped by, but in my head, I was like, man, you could probably find like just some unique, weird, interesting, special, whatever adjective you want to use, but just unique and good deal type of things. Have you ever stopped by one?
You know that my husband cannot drive past a garage sale sign and not stop. Yes, I've stopped at many.
Plenty of them. Let me tell you. What one do you want to hear about?
Yeah. And let me tell you that a lot of those signs that are like, oh, just off the highway, are like, just 20 kilometers back on this dirt road and you'll find us. Keep following the signs. You're almost there.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. We actually stopped in one on our way back from Montana a few years back, and we were driving up through BC and over to Alberta. And there was this, I don't know, it was a sign for a sale. My husband got excited. We pulled in. They had about 15 school buses.
What?
Yeah. And
They're selling buses? No.
They were not selling buses. Every school bus was they're like yard sale tables. Oh. So you would like go up into a bus and like look around, and then you'd get off the bus and go into the next bus. And they had signs everywhere that were like, "Don't be rude. This is our treasure." Like kind of like as if people had been overheard complaining about how gross it was. And then the other thing was they were kind of chatty but didn't have much to say. But you're on a school bus. So I'm like looking at stuff down the aisle.
Especially with you, you can't say no to anything. So once someone starts talking to you, they got you.
And they also got me because they trapped me because I'm down the school bus aisle and there's only one way in and out of the bus and they're blocking it. I don't ever want to go back to that one.
So did you find any deals though?
Or
did you walk away empty-handed? Because that would also be awkward, leaving like a farm and being like, yeah, sorry, didn't find anything.
My husband found like a weird, whimsical little kind of like ram sheep's head that was about like 3 inches tall. And he was stoked because we had seen a lot of like mountain sheep on our drive. So he was like, this will be to remember it. It's never been used and I don't think it exists.
That's just to get
longer.
off the farm alive.
Yeah, I was like, let's get out of here. I find picking a stain color for wood very stressful.
Yeah, I've never done it before. What happened? What do you have to go through?
Well, you have to go to the aisle and stare at a bunch of different little cans that have a tiny line of what the stain color is going to look like. Depending on what your wood looks like, it's going to look different.
Okay.
And then there's no going back. Like, you are going to spend $30 on a little can of stain, but if you pick too dark, well, sucks to be you. You've now stained your wood super dark.
You can't just do something and then restain it?
No, you can't really sand it off because if you're using really thin wood, which is what I was doing, a 1/4-inch birch, like it was like, no, this is your option here.
Oh, those 1/4-inch birches, eh?
I'm standing in the stain aisle on Saturday by myself, just like, there's too many options. I don't want to go too dark. I want to go light. The pressure was mounting. I called my dad.
You know what you should have done?
What?
Did you have any leftover 1/4-inch birch on you? You could have brought some, maybe get some samples on your wood in store.
They don't let you do that.
What? Go to a different store. Find a new one. That has to be a thing. Imagine having to stain a whole something that's big. I don't know what you're staining, but then you bought the wrong one. Nah, that has to be something.
Well, I have good news for you, Shawn.
Yeah.
I did buy the wrong one, but there was no consequence to it.
Oh, no. What happened?
Well, I bought one called Natural Wood Color.
Yeah.
And I was like, this will be great. It'll just look natural.
Nice brown, I'm assuming.
Right? That's what the picture looked like. It looked like light brown wood.
Yeah.
When I opened it and started putting it on the wood, it was clear. It was like, would you like to enhance the knots of the wood grain?
Literally natural. Your natural wood color.
Yeah, and the problem is I was staining my camper. So, like, large area, so much work for no reward. Oh, looks the exact same. Did you stain it? Can't tell.
Yeah, it's just shiny. Shiny. I feel like I was doing a little research over the weekend for our local baseball team.
Research, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to frame it as. Definitely research. So I went down to what is called an Edmonton Riverhawks game. They're in a completely different league than the Giants.
Okay.
But they're a baseball team. And so I went down, and then what I'm going to call as research is I just went there and I kind of observed all of their food and drink options. And I'm just going to report back with what maybe we could potentially add to drive in people.
And?
Well, let me tell you.
Did you have some good food and drinks the other day?
The number one thing that my research that I've kind of cross-referenced with a bunch of consultants and everything is that there's these hollow bats, I will call them. They're hard plastic, and you can fill the bats with any beverage of your choice.
Oh.
And it holds about a tall can and then some, we'll say.
Okay.
And it is just a lot of fun. And you get to keep it afterwards. And I would just highly recommend, I might have to go forward with my research towards the Giants and just say, hey, consider this. It's a lot of fun.
I did see you having a lot of fun. You were definitely sharing on socials all about that bat you were drinking out of. Now, are you going to start bringing that to all the games? Do you get to bring it back
No,
with you?
that's like a party foul. That was just research. I can't bring the Riverhawks bat to the Giants game. That's just the party foul.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought that would be like, wow, he really is like a big fan. He even has a glass shaped like a bat.
No, that's just my research, Steph. Remember?
Pardon me.
Yeah, I'm not going to use it ever again. No, that would be wild.
Want more of today's show?
Download the Mixed Mornings and More podcast.
Now available every weekday.